Hello, and welcome to Cup to Hook Movie Night. See if I got anybody here. Looks like I got a couple people. How is everyone doing? Hey, Jen. I tell you what, Longmire just keeps getting better and better and better. I never know what to expect, but all I know is I'm going to be expecting greatness. Each episode is just so amazing. So I appreciate everyone who has been with me today through the Bible chats, the conversations, and then now the movie. I apologize. I know I've been getting on a little late with each episode today. It's been a long week. We are just swamped at the hospital, needing more people, but we're in the process of training now. So we've got several people coming on, so that will help out. We're so shorthanded, so I feel like all I'm doing is working and sleeping. So I came on earlier this afternoon with wet hair. I appreciate y'all letting me let it air dry. So I'm excited. Tuesday I get to go get it done. So yay. But all right, so we've got a couple of people on here, so we're going to go ahead and just get started. I don't know about you, but again, like I said, these are just amazing episodes, and I thoroughly enjoyed them. But all right, so we're looking at episodes 8 and 9 from season 1, and I hope you have brought something to work on. Hey, Roseanne, how are you tonight? Glad you made it. I have brought something. I'm not going to be crocheting as we're working on this. I'm actually working on creating some stitch markers that I can get out to you guys as I draw your names for the subscriber love share. So awesome, awesome, awesome. All right. So the first episode we're going to look at is episode 8. And it was called An Incredibly Beautiful Thing. And so the first question is, when the girl walks into the convenience store, what did she ask the store owner if he had? She asked him if he had something. What did she ask him if he had? She asked him something about the milk, Roseanne, but before she asked him about the milk, she asked him for something else. Jen, I would have thought it would have been a phone too, but it wasn't. She actually asked him, you know, Roseanne, I think she might have actually said help at first. But she ended up asking him if he had a gun. And then after she had him, asked him if he had a gun, he then called, which we, well, I'm not going to answer who that is because I think that's coming up in a question. So he called somebody and said, hey, I've got a distraught girl and I need some help. Actually, he's the one who asked for help. But she had asked him if he had a gun. And then while he's on the phone, she then asked him, she inquired about the price of something, which was the milk. All right. So question number 3 then. So the first one was, what did she ask him for? It was a gun. The second question, what did she inquire the price of? And it was milk. All right. Why did she end up just running out of the store? She asked about the price of milk, but before she could get an answer, she ran out the store. Do you know why she ran out the store? This stuff is making a lot of noise. I finally got it open. Why did she run out of the store? To set up the killing. No, I'll give you a hint. She heard something. What did she hear? She heard a car. She heard screeching tires. All right. So when Walt shows up to the store and he's looking for the store owner, where did he find the store owner? Yes, you're both correct. He had the stack of tires, so obviously he, fixed flats or whatever, but he found him in the stack of tires. And of course he was deceased. All right. Who was the closest thing to an eyewitness to this whole event? And so, in other words, who did the store owner call about the distraught girl? You're right, Jen. It was Walt's secretary, who is Ruby. All right. Do you remember, what does that say, Roseanne? Walt's. Oh, that might be Walt's officer. Okay. Oh, Walt's office. Okay. Gotcha. So it was Ruby, the secretary. All right. And did you by any chance remember the store owner's name? What was his name? Good job, Roseanne. It was Ellis. So the store owner's name is Ellis. All right. So now they're back at the police station, and Walt and Branch were talking. And the question is, what did Branch say had been in the newspapers? Good job, Roseanne. Gas station robberies, yes. And it was like a Bonnie and Clyde. It was a man and a woman. All right. While they were at the police station, the girls' parents came to see Walt. How long did they say that their daughter had been missing? Good job, Roseanne. 2 years. It was a good guess, Jen. Yep, she had been missing for 2 years. All right. Do you remember what her name is? Well, you had told me before that you'd seen it, but it's been a while. So that was a good guess, though. I don't know that I would remember these answers come next week. Ah, Roseanne, you're good, my friend. Yes. Her parents call her Evelyn. That is the name they gave her. All right. They said that she had been arrested before in her past. Do you know what it was? What had Evelyn been arrested for in her past? Roseanne's taking notes. You're doing good, my friend. Yes. Shoplifting and forging checks. Yes, Jen. Good job. All right. So she's definitely been in trouble before. So definitely was a troubled teen to start with. All right. Who did Vic say was her favorite branch of the government? Walt had sent her to do a task, and she came back out, and she was being sarcastic, of course. But who did she say was her favorite branch of the government? To give you a hint, Jen's got it. Yep, the DMV. And I would say she had to, when she was working with the DMV, she was getting help from her ex-husband. Good job. Good job. Both of you got it. All right. So now Walt has asked Henry to go and try and track this girl. And so he told Henry that he was sending one of his deputies with him, which ended up being Ferg. Of course, Henry, wanted to do it by himself. But Walt insisted on Ferg going, which turned out to be good. Because what did Ferg find? And if y'all get this, you're good, because I didn't even know what it was. Ferg found something, and he said it was like finding breadcrumbs. Both of you are correct. So it was her to write, and Janice, I was trying to think the footprint, and welcome, by the way. Good to have you with us. I think the footprints Walt identified at the store as being footprints. Yes, they were stones. Now, Ferg said that these stones were not native to Wyoming. He listed 2 countries that they're normally found in. Any guesses to what those 2 countries are? I got a couple answers coming in. I'm going to let a couple more people. Good job. Brazil and Africa. All right. So Henry looked at Ferg kind of funny that he even knew all of this. And Ferg said that the only reason he knew it is because he collected something. What does he collect? Roseanne, you kind of mentioned it earlier. Oh, there you go. Yes, yes. Good job, ladies. He collects minerals. All right. Now, there was a guy at the store, and we find out his name later. I think it was Tron. Yes, Jen, she does good every week. I think she does it every week, and I don't blame her because I have some tough questions. You have to really be listening. But I hope you're still enjoying it as you're watching it. All right. So there was a guy that was at the gas station getting gas, and he said he saw a black SUV pull up. What did he say was on the license plate? I agree, Jen. So proud of Roseanne. What was on the license plate? Well, y'all did better than me. I missed the 1778. But yes, it was an evergreen tree. All right. What state did Walt tell Vic that meant the license plate was from? If it had that evergreen tree on there, it meant it was from the state of where? So we've got Oregon and Washington. And the answer is from the state of Oregon. All right. What did Henry and Ferg find in the rabbit cage? They went into this little cabin or barn, whatever it was. And yes, they found a baby. Good job. All right. What was later found in the baby's swaddling blanket? You ladies are on a roll. Y'all are very correct. So they found the baby, and in the blanket was a picture of Evelyn, the baby's mom. All right. So then Walt goes back to this place because he knows that this person's going to come around looking for the baby. And so, what was the name of the girl that Walt caught? That is correct. Her name was October. What name did she say that Evelyn goes by now? She doesn't go by Evelyn anymore. She goes by a different name. What is the name she goes by? Yes. She goes by the name of April. All right. Who did she say the baby belonged to? Ah, April is Jen's birthday month. April what, Jen? 17th. All right. Got it down. No, she didn't say the baby belonged to her. She said that the baby belonged to their family, which was a community of brother and sisters. Brother being single, sisters being plural. And how many did she say was in their family? And she did. She said that there was 12 of them. And this wasn't a question, but of course they all went by the months of the year. But the thing is only the females had the name. So there must have been 12 females, but if the guy was there, that would have made 13. So I thought, I don't know, maybe I missed something, but anyway, what did she say that April Evelyn had done with the baby? She said that April had stolen the baby, that the baby wasn't hers, that she stole it. But of course, we all know that it was Evelyn or April's baby. All right. So now Henry is off kind of doing some tracking on his own, and he walks in front of a black SUV. The guys called him Kemosabe when they got out of the car. And Henry told them that they were Kemosabe and he was who? He says, I'm not Kemosabe, you're Kemosabe, and I am... Yes. He said he was Tonto. Very good. This was not in the show, so I'm just asking, do you know what Kemosabe stands for? It's just a little trivia. Thank you, ladies. Am I back? Can you see me? Oh, good, good. Okay. So yes, y'all are on the right track. Kemosabe was a term used by the fictional Native American sidekick Tonto as the Indian name for the Lone Ranger. All right. Where was Evelyn or April being held? Oh, wow, Roseanne, you really did take some notes. She was in a cage and in a chicken, like a chicken cage, like a chicken coop. All right. So we later find out who October really is. And her real name is Fiona Hines, and she's 27 years old. And she had been missing for how long? Jen, you were on the track of this earlier. How long had Fiona been missing? Yes. 5 years. So we got a pattern going. Maybe these girls have all been kidnapped. All right. Now, the midwife, oh, excuse me. Okay. So now we're at the part where Walt has gone to talk to the midwife. How much money did the midwife get to go deliver Evelyn's baby? Yes, she was given $2,000. All right, they blindfolded her. And so, do you remember how long she said the ride was? She said it was about how long? Janice, am I running slow for you? Am I lagging on your end? And yes, the answer is 40 minutes. She also said that even though she was blindfolded, that she could tell they crossed over something before they arrived to their destination. What did they cross over? Yes, they crossed over some railroad tracks. So after Henry had been caught by the guys at the, what was it? Roseanne, you said the Newlet place. And he's talking to Walt on the phone. And Walt's kind of getting on to him. Henry's told Walt, well, he was just following what? What kind of road was he following? Janice, Roseanne, and Jen, y'all are doing awesome. Yes. The yellow brick road. He said that he was following the yellow brick road. I love the underlying humor in this show. All right. What's even funnier is he says, I was following the yellow brick road. And then where did he say it led to? He said, I was following the yellow brick road and it led me straight to. That would seem like a right answer, right, Jen? Oz? He said, I was following the yellow brick road right to the grill of a black SUV. All right. What did Walt tell Branch to go find? He gave Branch an assignment. He told him to go find something or someone. What was it? He told him to go find a judge. All right, so now we have Vic. She's sitting in the window of her office and she's watching October, who's sitting out on a bench. Okay. Oh, wow, Janice. Okay. If you don't mind me asking, where are you from and where are the Amber Alerts going out at? I've had my phone turned off for my shows, so I'll have to go check it. Okay. Well, let's pray that these people are found. And so Vic was watching the girl, October, on the bench, and then all of a sudden she disappeared. So she goes running outside to find her. And what happened to Vic? Okay. She got hit by the car that October jumped in after stabbing the social worker. Who ended up being the owner of the car that hit Vic? Jen, I don't know if you have any suggestions for Janice. What I've had to do in the past is I've had to actually like jump out of a video and go back into it to kind of fix the lagging. Oh, that's right. That's right. So hopefully that will help you, Janice. The owner of the car was actually October, Fiona. It was registered under her name, Fiona Hines. Thank you for helping her, Jen. Hopefully that will help her. So October owned the car. So in the end, we find out who actually killed Ellis. And it was Leland Townsend. Do you remember who Townsend was from earlier in the episode? Yay, I think Janice is up with us. Oh, thank you, Jen, for helping her out. Townsend was the man who said that he was at the gas station pumping gas when he saw the black SUV pull up. Yay! We're all together now. He was the one that gave him the information about the Oregon plates on the black SUV. And we also learned that he is also the head of what? I think, Roseanne, you've mentioned it a couple times. Actually, I see an answer. Jen, you've actually given that answer already. What was he the head of? Yes, he was the head of this cult. And so when they go to arrest him, they discover that he's poisoned himself. And Walt finally, he's taking him back to the station, and all of a sudden he realizes where all the girls are. And so where did Townsend have the girls? Yes. He had them tied up on the train tracks, and there was a cup. So apparently they'd also been poisoned as well. But they were all able to be saved in time. And so the last question for this episode is, when they're at the train tracks, who brought Evelyn her baby? That's right, Jen. They drank from the same tea. And it was tea that they drank. It's a good guess, Roseanne, but it wasn't Vic. And Jen got it. It was Walt's daughter, Katie. Katie brought Evelyn her baby. All right. So let's take a look at episode 9. And it was called Dogs, Horses, and Indians. All right. So Walt is driving. And what does he hear come across the radio? I love your little hand clapping, Roseanne. Those are so cute. Oh, I'm sorry. Believe it or not, Jen, that was 40 questions for that episode. And let's see, for episode 9, I have 34 questions. Oops. All right. So y'all are on the right track. Yes, it was a 911 call from a guy named Malcolm. All right. And he was asking for help because he was being shot at. So when they're all standing around talking, who did Walt say the guy being shot at sounded like? And we know it was Malcolm Eaglestar, but what was he to the tribal council? Do you remember what his position to the tribal council is? That's right. He was the president of the tribal council. Now, Matthias, who's the head of the tribal police, we've met him on several occasions. He told Walt that he was glad he was there because he could use the blank and the blank. Do you remember what he said? He said, Walt, why are you here? And he says, I'm here to help. And he says, good, because I could use the blank and the blank. He looked at Walt when he said one answer, and he looked at Vic when he said the other answer. I'll give you the answer he gave Walt, and then you tell me the answer he gave when he looked at Vic. He said, good, because I can use the manpower and the blank. Making sure I didn't lose everybody. Okay. He said the manpower and the lady power. He says, good. I could use the manpower and the lady power. All right. What was to be done if anyone found anything? What were they supposed to do? That's correct. They were to shoot a flare. So now you've got Walt and Henry and Vic walking away from the group to go look and start searching in their area. And Vic said being in the middle of nowhere on a creepy road and Matthias being all nice felt like what? Vic said being in the middle of nowhere on a creepy road and Matthias being all nice felt like being where? Or what did it feel like? Walt probably thought it was paradise to finally have Matthias being nice, but yes, Jen. Felt like they were in the Twilight Zone. So as they're walking, what does Vic shoot at? Vic starts shooting at something. What did she shoot at? That's right. She shot at a snake. All right. So Walt, Vic, and Henry find Malcolm Eaglestar. And what did Walt say about his body? That it had been moved. That is correct. Good job. You all got it right. All right. What did Walt pour on Vic? He poured something on Vic to prove his point. It wasn't beer. It wasn't water. It wasn't dirt. He poured coffee on her. Malcolm had a container and it had coffee in it. And so why did he do this? She fussed at him, but why did he do this? What was he trying to prove? When he poured the coffee on her arm, Janice Milk. Yes, Roseanne. He was trying to prove that Malcolm wasn't shot in the car because of the way that the blood was draining. That's right. Yeah, it wasn't hot. It was very cold. All right. So where did Walt say he'd been shot then? Where had the body been when it was shot? Very good. He said that the body had been on the ground. And this was also proven because there was dirt on the back of Malcolm's shirt. Who shot the flare? One of the three of them shot a flare up. It was either Walt, Vic, or Henry. Who shot the flare? It was Henry. Henry shot the flare. All right, we come to find out that Malcolm had been at a poker game. Was he winning or was he losing? I'm laughing at your answer, Roseanne. Yes, he was winning, but so before we get to the but, do you remember how much money he was winning? Or had won? Yes. He had won about $20,000. All right. Hang on to the but. We're going to get to the but later about his winnings. All right. What did Henry call himself to Walt? They were talking and he called himself as your blank blank. This is a tough question. That's a good answer, Jen, his best friend, but that's not what he said. You're close, Janice. Janice, a counselor. Hey, Shelly. Welcome, welcome. Glad you're here with us. Wasn't quite a counselor, wasn't quite a lawyer. I'm going to give you the second word, his blank advisor. What is he in the process of doing? What else is going on besides solving all these crimes? Yes, Jen, his advisor. And specifically, yes, Roseanne, he called himself Walt's campaign advisor. Good job. That was a hard one. Public defender. Hey, Sylvia. How are you feeling? I'm so glad to have you. I know it's been a crazy couple days for you, my friend. We prayed for you earlier today and hope that your procedure went very, very well and very smoothly, and you're home and recovering. Hopefully being here with all of us tonight will help lift your spirits. Have no clue what the questions pertain to. Oh, Shelly, we every week watch 2 episodes of Longmire on Netflix, and we're currently in season 1. And tonight we were discussing episodes 8 and 9. And then on Mondays we come together under a event called Fun Day Monday, and we are creating a Longmire blanket. And so this past Monday we did part 2 of the blanket. And so this coming week we are doing part 3. And Jen, this is for you, but at the end of this question time, I am going to share 2 exciting things about part 3. And if you twist my arm, I might even show it to you on my blanket. Oh, absolutely, Janice. Where'd my paper go? Janice, oh, you said Rhonda. Okay. I was going to ask you what her first name was, but I see it there. All right. I definitely have that down. You're so welcome, Sylvia. Oh, yay, Janice. I know Jen let me know earlier this week that she had already finished it, but I'm so excited about part 3. But I'll share 2 things about it so you'll have the weekend to look forward to it. Okay, so back to our questions. So Henry called himself Walt's campaign advisor. All right. Who did Walt end up identifying as the person responsible for having moved Malcolm's body? So who did Walt end up figuring out actually moved Malcolm's body? You can still send it to me, Jen. And for anyone else that wants to send pictures, you can send it as a process, or you can send it as a complete. But when we're all said and done, any pictures that I've gathered, I'm going to create a video. And for example, I'm just going to use Jen as an example because she's already sent me a picture of part 1 done on her blanket. So for example, Jen will have a section on the video, and for every picture she sends me of her progression, I will include in the clip under her name and then her final blanket. And then anyone else who sends me, even, you know, even if you don't send me a picture of every part, you don't have to do this. It is not a requirement. But whatever you send me will end up in that video under your name. So yes, you guys are right, all of you. So yes, Matthias, the tribal sheriff, is the one who moved the body. The next question is why? Why not just leave the body there where he found it? Why did he move it? They didn't really spend a whole lot of time on why he moved it, but all right, so we've got, he wanted Walt to investigate so he didn't get blamed. He didn't want to do the investigation so Walt can get props of slicing it for the campaign, or solving it, I'm sure is what that's supposed to be for the for the campaign. Okay, Jen, I'll go look at your picture when we're done. All of you are very correct. The part of him not wanting to solve it, the exact words he says was because on Walt's land, he felt Walt had a better chance to solve it as an outsider than he would on the res as an insider. Because clearly it happened on the reservation. More than likely, it happened by somebody on the res because of something else that was going on that we weren't even privy to at that point of there even being a murder, which we find out in a little bit. But you're right. And Matthias actually told Walt that it would also be good for his campaign. So, all right. What did Walt ask Ruby? Now remember, Ruby is Walt's secretary at the police station. What did he ask her to tell Katie that still came to his house? He says, and call Katie and let her know blank still comes to my house. And this blank ends up opening up a whole nother scenario, creating a whole nother list of issues. Yes. You guys are right. Her credit card bills are still coming to his house. And apparently he opened it and he saw some things in there that put some pieces of some puzzles together, and he did not like it. All right. We're going to come back to that. What did Branch and his dad do together? They were hanging out together, and what were they doing while they were together? Which they've done this several times. Yes. They were golfing and teeing off. That's right. Yes. So then later, what does Walt confront Branch about? Yes, all of your answers are correct. He brings up the hotel charge from the credit card bill. He brings up about them dating, about their relationship, ask him how long it's been going on. And Walt is not happy. But, you know, Branch tells him they're both grown adults. All right, so we're still in the police station. What did Walt ask Vic to bring to him in his office? So he's got the bikers all in the jail, and I was trying to count them. I was going to make that a question, but I couldn't get them all counted, no matter how many times I rewound. But anyway, I know there was like 5 or 6 at least. But he brings this one guy, and that's right, Roseanne. That's exactly what he asked for. And he's got him in there interrogating him, and he's like, "Oh, I'm not going to talk." He's trying to be all tough guy because he's like, "If I talk to y'all, I'm as good as a dead man." And so to try and make it look like to the bikers still in the cell that the guy's talking, he asked Vic to bring something in, and you guys have got it, pen and paper. So then the question is, what did he ask Ferg to bring him? So he's got Vic bringing him pen and paper, and he says to Ferg, "Hey, how about bring me a," and y'all got it. Yes, a tape recorder. And so the guy's like, "What's going on?" He's like, "Well, the longer you're in here, they're going to think you're talking." So then Walt then asked Ferg to go get 2 chicken fried sandwiches for him and Vic. And then what did he tell him to pick up for the guy? Who the guy, by the way, his name is Jeff. Yes, a Cobb salad. All right, so now we're coming back to Roseanne's comment that made me laugh, where she said, "Winning but." What did Walt learn about the money that Malcolm won? What was Roseanne referring to when she said but? That didn't sound great. What was Roseanne referring to when she said he was winning, however, but? That's right. He had lost it. So he did not have all those winnings anymore. So when he was killed, it wasn't for the robbery. It wasn't because of robbery. He wasn't killed because of the money. Who did Walt leave to deal with the biker's lawyer? When the biker's lawyer showed up, who did he leave to deal with the lawyer? Jen got it. Yes, it was Ruby. He left Ruby to deal with the lawyer. All right, so we learned that Malcolm sent a letter to Reuben, which was one of many people that he sent a letter to. And what was in the letter that caused Reuben's wife, Darla, to want to divorce Reuben? Reuben was upset and accusing Malcolm of destroying his marriage. What was in the letter? And Roseanne, you've answered it. You've got it. So what was in the letter that caused Darla to start packing and was going to divorce Reuben? And it was that he was getting kicked out of the tribe. And the way Darla looked at it is if he was not in the tribe, then he didn't get tribal benefits. And she was like, "Well, what's the point of being married? Call me a gold digger." All right. So why was Malcolm passing a new law for the blood quantum that was required that they had to have to be able to remain in the tribe? Gold digger, huh? Not enough Indian blood. Right. What was Malcolm trying to do by issuing this blood quantum? He was in bent. With the blood quantum, that person would not have enough actual Cherokee or Cheyenne, excuse me, not Cherokee, Cheyenne blood to be even considered part of the tribe if the law passed. But do you remember what they're going to build on the res? Do you know what's coming? Uh-oh. Oh, I'm glad that was a short lag. Yes, Roseanne. So they're bringing in this casino. And Malcolm thought that if he could weed out members, then each of those that were still there could get a bigger profit of the casino. Okay? It might be lagging because I see it spinning. Okay. Oh, that's cool. I actually got something spinning, so I can almost tell when it was lagging. I got Jen back. Do I have everyone else back? Got Roseanne. Okay. So if he could weed out the members of the tribe, then there'd be a bigger profit from the casino. All right. Do you remember about how many people were disenrolled or would be basically kicked out of the tribe? Do you remember how many letters he was sending out? All right. I've got the answer 60, 40, 20, and the answer is 60. He was sending out 60 letters to disenroll, is what they called it, members from the tribe. All right, so now we're at the scene where Walt and Katie are finally having their moment. Of course, Katie's talking about dealing with the biker's lawyer, and all Walt wants to talk about is her relationship with Branch. And I'm like you, Jen. I was so ready for this moment. I was ready for this moment I was ready for this moment after episode 1, but it was a great scene. It really was a great scene. I don't have a lot of questions from it because I was really watching it versus picking it apart. But what did Walt relieve Katie of after their fight about her dating Branch? All right, so I'm getting taking care of him as a burden. Walt, yes. And y'all are correct. All right. He was relieving her of the burden of putting his life back together and being around to take care of him. All right. How long did Katie say that she and Branch had been broken up? Yes, I'm with you, Roseanne. Teamwork. How long did Katie say she and Branch had been broken up or had broke up? That is correct. 2 weeks. Let me ask you this. Do you think it's a mutual breakup? No. No, because Branch is still trying to call her. He still wants to date her. Do you think she still wants to date him? Everybody's saying yes, but you, Jen, you said nope. And I don't know if that's because you've seen more of this than us or that's just your guess. My opinion, because I've only seen through this episode, okay, is what you're saying, Jen, because of her dad as sheriff. I think that's the reason she broke up with him. I think she still cares for him, but I think she broke up because she knew eventually her dad would find out. And but he's cute. He is cute. All right. But she loves her dad, and she knows he's been through a rough time, and he's running for sheriff, and the guy she's in love with is running for sheriff. And regardless of who wins, it would be tough, you know? So, all right. All right. Who did Walt and Ferg have a high-speed chase with? He has a good body. Shh. Janice, my husband's in the other room. He can probably hear me. But he does. I don't know if y'all can hear that, but he's like, I heard that. So I agree. She didn't seem in love when they were in bed together. And I do kind of agree with that, Jen. Especially when they were talking, when it showed the scene where they were talking. Right, Roseanne? Yes, it was the Indian son. His name is Micah, which he is Reuben's son. Because as Matthias pointed out, if an adult, which Micah's still an adult, but if, let's just say, a person doesn't make the cutoff, then that also means that their children don't make the cutoff. So, yes, it was Micah. And when Walt was arresting Micah, he said, he made a comment to Walt. And so this is it. Why did Micah say his family would be rewarded for him killing Malcolm? Why would his family be rewarded? Not necessarily about him specifically killing Malcolm, but with Malcolm dead, why would his family be rewarded? Jen, they would get the casino money, but what would take place before the casino ever comes in? Or I guess say not take place. However you want to look at it. Something could take place or something would not take place. Right, Janice. This election about this blood quantum. So in other words, if with Malcolm dead, then Jacob, and you remember who Jacob is, he's kind of like the head of the council. He's not the head of the council, but he's kind of like an advisor. He was an advisor to Malcolm. Okay, he's the one I was talking about earlier. He would step up as president, and he would make sure that everyone was reinstated, or that they were never, kicked out to begin with. Because if you remember when he's talking with Walt, he says that if it went through, that he would be one of those that would be kicked out. So if Jacob becomes the new president, then no one would be kicked out. So when Jacob is talking to Walt, he says there are 3 things identified by the U.S. government by blood. What are they? There's 3 things that are identified by blood. Making sure I didn't lose anyone. I'll give you a hint. They're in the title. It's not necessarily DNA or cows. Do you remember what the title was? The first one is dogs. The second one is horses. And the third one is Indians. Dogs, horses, and Indians are 3 things identified by the U.S. government by blood. All right. Because all that time, as it was coming to an end, I was like, I kept thinking, because I always keep the titles in my head when I'm going through the questions. In fact, I write them down at the very top. And I kept saying, well, everything always, you figure out why the title is there. And we were so close to the end of the show, and I was like, the title doesn't make sense. But then there it did. So Branch and Katie talk. And Branch told Katie he had only 2 choices when it came to Walt. Do you remember what they are? Oh, wow. I wonder why it's not sending your answers. Do I still have everyone? Okay. So I did get an answer come in from you, Jen. That's good. And it's the correct answer, by the way. That's right. Okay. Huh. I don't know why it wasn't sending the other ones. But yes, he told Katie that he'd either have to quit or he'd have to beat him in the election. And the very last question. Okay, you said horses and Indians before. So Jen got that answer. Yes. Thank you, Jen. All right, so we're down to our last question. What did Branch say that he wasn't when he told Katie, I'll either have to quit or beat him? And then he says, but I'm not what? You're correct. He says, I am not a quitter. So that only leaves one other option. And so if you've seen ahead, You can answer, but just don't tell us that you're telling us the truth. So what do you think? Who do you think is going to win the election? Do you think it's going to stay Walt? Or you think Branch is going to win? Or do you even think there's going to be an election? I'm kind of pulling for Walt too, Janice. Then I didn't know how she feels about me. Oh, okay. Yeah, Roseanne, Branch has got a lot of pull with his dad in play, and his dad is really being persistent and pushing it. Jen, then don't tell us. Then don't tell us. I'm kind of hoping for Walt so that Branch and Walt can work things out and Katie and Branch can date because they are a cute couple. But that's just my opinion. And Walt needs to go date Miss Flirty. I can't think of her name right now. All right, so that was all of our questions for episode 8 and 9. Now, I'm going to share 2 facts about Monday. Monday, number 1, Lizzie. That's right, Roseanne. Thank you. Her name is Lizzie. Thank you. Thank you. Yay! Roseanne is my my campaign advisor. We're not going to roll a dice to determine how many rows we're going to do. Because love you, Roseanne. Because we're going to automatically do 8 rows. So maybe that'll make your what? Happy, Jen. We're going to do 8 rows because we are going to do a particular pattern phase. And because of that pattern phase, we need to do a total of 8 rows to accomplish it. So in order to do that, obviously the dice won't go higher than 6 on that one die. So we are going to do 8 rows. The second fact that I'm going to tell you, and I'm not going to tell you which number of, let me tell you the fact first. We're not going to be just working with one color, but 2 colors. So I'm going to see what you say about that. So we're going to be doing 8 rows using 2 colors. But what I'm not going to tell you is what number the colors are. Well, you say the more choices you have to make. Did you not number your colors, Jen? Or are you just kind of matching them each week? Ah. I know, I was like, what do I do if I roll a number and I don't want those 2 colors to go together? But I'm trying to trust the process, so matching each week. And that's fine. I'm just glad you're having fun and you're doing it. That's right, Janice. No fair, Jen. But I am glad that y'all are just doing it. Now, the million-dollar question is, do you want to see? Shh, don't tell the teacher. Do you want to see what it looks like? Or do you want the element of surprise? Jen says, of course. All right, I got to get more answers. I'm not going to show it unless I get. Roseanne says yes. I need a third answer. Didn't want it looking like Christmas. All right. And Janice says yes, so I got 3 yeses. I'm going to tell you, it looks like it was hard, but I promise you it wasn't. And I really did go slow in the tutorial. And I am planning, I'm working the next 2 days, but I am planning to try very, very hard I love you guys so much. To get it out, I would like for it to go out Sunday afternoon for you to have and see. I'm not going to make any promises because, like I said, it's just been really crazy right now at the hospital. But either way, somewhere close to Monday's episode coming out, this tutorial will take place so that I can go even slower to show you. But it's really not as difficult as it looks. Like my husband, I was showing him and it's like, oh my gosh, it looks really hard. It looks really cool. My colors are actually flowing together very well. But it's not. So here we go. I've stalled you enough. You ready? Give me a drum roll. And make sure I got the front side. Nope, I don't have the front side. All right. This is what it's looking like. So what you think? Oh, I'm so glad. I love your enthusiasm. But isn't that cool? And I love how my colors that it's picked so far have come out. I mean, I don't know a lot about the Native American, but to me, that's looking very much like a Native American blanket. And I'm very, very proud of it. When I picked those two colors, the teal and the black, my first thought was, ugh, I don't know how that's going to go. And I was concerned about the black up against the purple even. But it's showing up very nicely. So now you have kind of an idea of what's coming. And as I shared last week, coming up, let me find my planner book because I was telling them on Bible chats today. Just a reminder that October the 9th, we won't be meeting because I will be going to that Women of Joy conference. But of course, Fun Day Monday will happen. So on the 5th and on the 12th, we'll still have our episodes. But based on your comment last week, Jen. Oh, I am so sorry, Sylvia. My colors were black and teal blue. And what it does is the first 2 rows are going to be just straight single crochet of the black. And then the first 2 rows and then the 7th and 8th row are nothing but single crochet of my black color. And then the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th rows will be a combination of the black and the teal. And I'll be very honest with you, Sylvia, when I did that, I made sure as I was going through that I really talked about how those colors were changing. And to be honest, I spent enough time showing it that that video would be enough. But really the whole reason I'm going to create this separate video and take more time in it is because of you. So I hope that in doing that, that video will help you a lot with being able to follow that pattern. So, but if not, we'll definitely, talk it through one-on-one. Which if you get a chance, don't forget to email me and share your phone number so I can give you a call. Obviously, as long as you're stateside. Because I wouldn't be able to if you're international, but I don't think you are. I'm glad, Jen. And actually, there's a couple of other patterns that I'm working on that will use color change-ups like that. Sometimes it's going to be simple stitches that are just kind of like a filler or separator between the phases, but then sometimes the phases will be kind of intricate like that. But when I say intricate, I don't necessarily mean oh, sweet. Okay. Well, I do plan on going Monday, Janice, to the post office, and I will check my box in. I try to do it every Friday. Jen, I see where you said front post and back post. I'm not sure what if you're asking me, or is that something we're going to do? Is that what you're? Oh, got you. You emailed it. Okay. I got you, Janice. I had not thought about the front post and the back post, but definitely we can do that. And anyone who's not familiar with what she's meaning by front post and back post, this is the bath mitt that we did this past couple weeks on Wednesday on the Hook. And right here, this is all front post and back post right there. And that would kind of give a nice rustic kind of texture to our blanket. If nothing more, we might even can do that around it as a border. But I think it'll be pretty in the middle of the blanket. Yes, that is something I am trying to do, Jen, is incorporate different textures. And even though this is not necessarily a texture, just the depth that it provides gives it that textured look. So, and I really loved this spider stitch. I had never done that spider stitch. I had never seen it before. That's the purple there. And in fact, I have started a baby blanket with that spider stitch using the, pardon me, the Crochet Society Stay at Home, Stay Safe box. Oh, no, it says Stay Home, Stay Crafty box. It had 8 skeins in there. So I'm using those 8 different skeins and creating a baby blanket with that spider stitch. So can anyone see me? Oh, good, good, good. All right, so I don't know where we left off at. but I did forget to mention that on the Cut to Hook conversations earlier. And the wrap won first place, the butterfly wall hanging won second place, and the romper won third place. So I will be doing the wrap. And Jen, thanks to you, I am going to put a butterfly on that wrap. But I do hope that I have enough yarn left over, because I would like to make the butterfly wall hanging for a friend of mine that really, really loves butterflies. So that will be perfect for her birthday. That will be coming up in the month of October. So, in fact, she's the one I'm going to the Women of Joy conference with. So, Melinda, if you're watching this, then plug your ears. So, all right. Well, that is it for tonight, ladies. I had fun again. So next week, we will be doing the last episode of season 1, which is episode 10, and we will be doing the first episode of season 2. So we're moving along. Oh, and Jen, I forgot what I was going to tell you, which this is for everyone, but I know when I made the comment that we wouldn't be able to have our question and answer that Friday night, provided that this coming week I get a little bit of extra time, since we won't be able to meet on Friday night, I'm going to try my best to create ahead of time an additional segment of the blanket and air it Friday in place of us meeting. So pray, pray, pray I get some extra time so I can surprise you gals with that. Are you guys too? So, all right, my wonderful, beautiful, joyful creator friends, y'all have a great night. Have a beautiful weekend. Have a wonderful week. Stay dry, and I will see you again soon. Love you guys. Bye.